At Clarity, we take a simply smarter approach to employee benefits. Today, the benefits landscape is more confusing than ever, but it's also never been so essential. At Clarity, we believe life is a journey, one that should be lived well. So we'll stop at nothing to bring clarity and ensure your clients and their employees are ready for life with a full suite of programs and tools. Our partnership with bswift dramatically streamlines the entire benefits administration and payroll processes for everyone involved. bswift provides a flexible online and paperless solution for enrollment that saves time, improves communication, and promotes retention. And the best part? Clarity handles all the behind-the-scenes administrative work, including implementation, carrier and payroll integration, and ongoing support, so you can focus on what matters most: building your business. Let's get started. As we move through the platform together, we can see it's fully customizable and can provide year-round benefits administration and online enrollment technology. At Clarity, we can accommodate a limitless number of benefit classes, funding strategies, and plan designs for companies of all sizes and demographics. From fully funded or self-insured to defined contributions or age-banded rates, bswift was built to handle the complexity of virtually any benefit offering for any number of employees. With bswift, employees also have access to a feature called Ask Emma, the highest level of decision support available. Ask Emma is a personalized benefit shopping avatar that guides employees through their enrollment process from beginning to end, while offering personalized recommendations and support based on each individual's unique circumstances and personal preferences. For employees that feel that they are well-versed in benefits or don't need as much help, Ask Emma still offers a multitude of great ways that any employee can get the most out of their benefits. So, what are the benefits to providing employees a decision support tool as advanced as Ask Emma? Ask Emma has been shown to increase employee satisfaction by helping them experience greater appreciation for their benefits. Additionally, Ask Emma can help employees achieve hard dollar savings by helping them enroll in a potentially lower-cost medical plan, and it can also increase enrollments in voluntary plans. Ask Emma empowers employees with the detailed benefit information they need to make informed decisions about their finances and become an overall better consumer of benefits. And finally, with bswift and the Ask Emma feature, employers get maximized efficiency, truly making their benefits experience simply smarter. bswift takes care of the entire enrollment process in one compact and easy-to-use system. So HR teams, employer admins, and brokers can shorten or eliminate open enrollment meetings, as well as shorten the open enrollment window. Now that we've covered some of the amazing benefits bswift has to offer employees, let's take a look at its functions from an administrator's perspective. Let's log in as an admin, and it brings us to the home screen. The system can be set up to provide varying levels of access on the admin side. For example, a company could have one HR person that oversees the entire company and requires full access to all employee profiles, including salary amounts, social security numbers, etc. Or depending on the size of the company, each location or department may have its own HR manager who is granted limited access to certain employee information. Regardless of a company's size, structure, and policy, bswift ensures that the right people have the appropriate level of access to employee information. Clarity can accommodate for businesses of any size and ensure that employees and administrators receive hands-on attention at any point throughout the process. During the bswift onboarding process, any situation can be fully customized as well. An organization's unique brand is presented here. The color scheme, format, and even the URL can all be customized. The tiles presented on the homepage can also be customized according to preferences. One of the most important features on the homepage is the Open Enrollment Gauge, which allows an admin to keep track of open enrollment as it occurs. With this real-time view of enrollment, admins can see the full picture of the enrollment process. Admins can see the number of employees that have not started open enrollment, those that have started but have not completed it, and those that have fully completed the open enrollment process. Using this information, the company can send notifications to employees alerting them that they have a specific number of days left to complete their open enrollment before it closes, so no one misses a deadline. The Open Enrollment Gauge also gives admins the option to drill down on individuals by clicking here or on any of those bars that we just saw. By allowing admins to identify individuals and all of their pertinent information, they can reach out and provide assistance as needed, making the entire process seamless from the administrative side to the employee side. Below the open enrollment gauge, we have the activity stream. This is a live look at feeds that are currently set up for the company within bswift. In this case, Clarity will handle all of the file feed setup and management. The multicolored graph pictured here indicates the overall status of file feeds. More than anything, it provides companies with peace of mind that their internal data is transferring as it should. Keep in mind that most of the time, once an EDI or an API file has been created, it will appear in green. From a company's perspective, green indicates that each file has been created, tested, and that employee data is flowing correctly. If everything has been set up properly, there are very few reasons why an orange icon would appear. But if it does happen, this indicates that something is not working as it should and needs to be corrected. Should that unlikely situation arise, Clarity is always here to review, update, or resend those files as needed. Our team of helpful industry experts average between 5 and 10 years of experience and are cross-trained in different departments, so you'll always have someone on your side to assist. Companies can also set up and customize any number of dashboards with their selected favorites appearing first. Again, we have an array of customizable options here, from the type of graph to the color schemes and other details based on the user's preference. Let's look at some examples of what these dashboards can include. This line graph represents turnover for new hires versus terminations. Scrolling down, there are some ACA components that show employees gaining eligibility. At Clarity, we know compliance is key, so we offer 2 levels of ACA services for clients. The first level provides basic versions of forms and reports that need to be completed for ACA, such as 1094 and 1095Cs. The second level includes all levels of compliance. This includes variable hours tracking, minimum affordability, employees that are full-time status, and all other key areas related to ACA. That information would be available to companies in reports and in these graphs here on the platform. Scrolling down a bit further, this pie chart represents employee medical participation. The pie chart makes it easy to see all of the plans that a company offers its employees in one convenient place. This is especially helpful for companies who offer 3, 4, or any number of different plans. Rather than sifting through actual enrollment figures, admins can quickly understand how their plans are being perceived and adjust according to those figures in future years. Let's walk through an example together. If I can see that there is 80% enrollment in one plan, 17% in a second plan, and only 3% in a third plan, I may decide to reconsider that third plan or eliminate it altogether, perhaps replacing it for something that would have greater appreciation and enrollment participation. As we can see, this is a simple way for admins to identify what's working, what's not, and adjust accordingly to keep their employees satisfied. Now let's scroll down to the very bottom of the screen to view the Alert section. Keep in mind that this tile can be moved anywhere on the dashboard, depending on the user's preference. In the Alert section, anything that requires attention is orange, so you won't miss any important information when logging in. For example, let's say an employee has a qualified life event mid-year, such as marriage or childbirth. The employee would first log into their side of bswift and request that qualified life event reopen enrollment for them. This would automatically create an alert for me as the employer or client. It would also appear on my homepage in bswift, indicating that something needs my attention. From there, I would be able to go into that alert and then either approve that request or request additional documentation, such as a marriage license or a birth certificate. Now let's scroll back to the top of the page where everything is organized by tabs, so users can get anywhere that they'll want to go in just 1 or 2 clicks. We know benefits can be confusing, so at Clarity, we look for every opportunity to simplify the experience. Let's visit the Report Center, which is another valuable feature for organizations. Here, admins can easily extract any amount of company data held by bswift. Scrolling down, we can see that each page contains about 50 standard reports. These reports contain all of the company data made available on bswift, allowing admins to quickly access information that would be difficult to find otherwise. By clicking the star icons on the left, they can easily filter important reports for easy future access. It's that easy. These reports can also be separated by category, creator, date created, or name. By typing keywords into the search field, admins can pull up a list of reports that contain that keyword. For even more specificity, admins can perform additional actions within the reports themselves, such as threading specific information to create ad hoc reports, or even lean on Clarity to create custom reports. These reports are very rarely needed, but Clarity is always there to assist with any needs that may arise in an organization. We're committed to providing our customers with the best possible benefits experience. Another notable feature that can be found in the Reports tab is Web Analytics. This allows admins to see several types of data points, including the number of visitors that went into my enrollment site, the number of employees I've had over a certain date range, the number of logins, details surrounding Ask Emma decision support, and number of enrollments that transpired within a certain date range. Now let's move on to the Enrollment section, which can be found in the Manager column on the left side of the screen. This page would display the number of employees that started and/or completed enrollment within a specified date range. Ask Emma can also be found directly beneath the Enrollment section. Ask Emma is one of the most valuable tools that bswift offers, and one of the most effective decision support tools available, if not the most effective decision support tool, period. Here we can find the recommendations that Ask Emma has made for employees, as well as the average monthly employer and employee premiums for Emma users. This tool provides employers with an inside look at how Emma is being utilized throughout the company, and what effect it has had on enrollment overall. Now let's get back into the Report dropdown and select Dashboard. Here an admin can see all the different dashboard tiles that have been created. Again, appearance and format is fully customizable. Admins also have the option to create new dashboard tiles or ask their Clarity Client Relationship Manager for assistance in creating something more specific. Admins are not limited to just the charts shown in this example. They can always ask their dedicated Clarity representative to help create a custom dashboard with the exact information they want to appear on their homepage. All our customers receive hands-on attention from a team of experts ready to address your needs and work with you to quickly solve any issues. This customized focus has allowed Clarity to maintain a 30 to 40% growth rate while achieving a 97% client retention rate. Editing a dashboard is easy as well. Simply click on the small icon in the upper right-hand corner of the tile. By clicking the Chart Options tab, admins can select how they would like their information to be presented. They can choose from different formats such as pie charts, bar graphs, and more. Choose the information represented in those charts by clicking into the Data Series 1 and Data Series 2 tabs. Here they can find a list of the key items containing data, which can be organized into charts. The next tab on the blue menu is Library. Let's click on that and then select Content Admin. This section is a storage center for any additional content that admins might want to save for easy and continuous access. The Content Admin section can hold any number of documents such as current SBCs, previous plan year SBCs, employee handbooks, onboarding documents, or anything else that might be used frequently. Now let's go back up to the Library tab and scroll down to Town Square. This feature allows the employer to create posts that can be edited. These posts can be related to anything from company meetings to 401k plan updates to company outings. Whatever the topic may be, employer admins can create a post here that will automatically transmit over to the employee homepage. Employees will have their own Town Square section where they can view these posts and stay up to date with company-wide correspondence. The last two tabs on the blue drop-down menu are called Billing and Connections. Most users will not need to engage with these sections on a regular basis or at all. This is an area that really pertains to integrations that Clarity has configured on the client's behalf. Payroll is a great example. Let's talk through this one together. Clarity collects all of the payroll information from our clients, including varying payroll frequencies, different employee classes, departments and locations, and benefit offerings. Clarity then organizes all of this information appropriately into the bswift platform, so that each employee only sees the specific benefits and deductions that pertain to them. Let's head back to the homepage now, by clicking the house icon on the left of the screen. From here, admins can easily access individual employee information in two different ways: by clicking on the Admin tab and selecting User Admin, or by typing the employee's profile name into the search bar in the upper right corner of the screen. Now that we have found the employee, a drop-down menu appears with all of the documents and information that pertain to that employee. Admins can view their user information, employee profile, their coverages, or even help them to reset a password. Now, let's go into their employee file. Here we can see the employee listed, along with their spouse and children if applicable. There are birth dates and any other necessary personal documents that have been uploaded. In this area, admins have the ability to assist employees by going into their profile, impersonating them in the system. They can do this by clicking the Impersonate User tab on the left. This feature can be utilized by the HR team, an admin, or an individual. It's especially helpful in situations when remote employees require assistance but cannot fully communicate the nature of their problem. So when an employee reaches out to HR with a problem, the admin can log in, impersonate the employee, and view the situation from their perspective. Now, let's move into the employee side of the platform. The homepage can also be fully customized, just as we saw on the employer homepage. The menu on the left-hand side gives employees access to their profiles and individuals several options for editing their own information, such as their address. The level of access is determined by the employer. If the permission settings are granted by the employer, employees can also edit dependent profiles and can request specific life events here. For example, if an employee has a child or marries midway through the plan year, they can click here to request to open enrollment back up again to make necessary election changes. This will alert the HR admin team of a pending request to add a dependent, at which time the HR team or admin can approve the request or ask for supporting documents, such as a marriage license or birth certificate. Scrolling down a bit further, employees can also have access to the News panel. On the right side of the screen, you can see some even more advanced features, such as specials. When larger companies offer pre-negotiated employee discounts on products from other companies, those can be listed here. Just above that, employees see the Ask a Benefit question tab, which connects employees with any important contact that their employer wants listed. They're even able to reach with the click of a button. This contact could be Clarity, customer service, their insurance broker, or an HR representative. Using this convenient button, employees can quickly reach whichever important contact that the employer has predetermined. Looking down to the bottom of the page, we can see the Town Square section, this time from the employee's perspective. Here, a company can post information about specific events and updates for all employees to view. Now, let's dive into the employee's enrollment process. The Enroll Now button can be found at the top of the screen. As an employee, this is where enrollment starts. First, an employee can initiate the Ask Emma Decision Support portion, where they can see a number of different plans that are available to me. Medical plans will always be listed at the top, since that is the most important choice to consider with the option to waive if desired. Before an employee chooses a plan, they may want to visit the Benefits FAQ at the top of the page. This takes employees to a repository of information where they can learn more about some basic benefits-related questions. Now, let's welcome Emma, the personal avatar who is going to guide employees through the enrollment process. They can start by clicking View Plan Options. An employee begins with who is being covered by this plan, where they can select themselves or add dependents such as a spouse or child. Again, Clarity will be inputting all of this information as long as it is provided to us during implementation. So employees will see the finished version of this page, making the process even easier. Now, Emma will introduce herself and proceed by asking me several non-invasive questions related to personal preferences and important factors that could impact the cost and effectiveness of the employee's medical plan choice. These answers are not shared with anyone. They're not shared with the carrier, with Clarity, or with the employer. They are simply utilized to match employees with the best portfolio of plans that are tailored to fit their needs and the needs of their departments. Clarity highly recommends that all employees go through this process to get personalized recommendations. However, if an employee is already savvy in benefits and benefits lingo, or simply does not want to go through these steps, They have the option to access a different level of decision support by jumping to the cost calculator next to Emma near the top of the screen. Since Emma is one of the most influential aspects of the platform, let's continue the enrollment process with her. She will ask, "Are you expecting to visit any specialists?" Let's say no. "Want me to factor in the cost of having a baby into your out-of-pocket estimate?" Let's say no again. "Any surgeries planned for the year?" And let's say no once again. "Do you or anyone you're covering have any ongoing prescriptions?" Here we're going to say yes, and whenever we say yes to one of these questions, it's going to trigger another small dialogue to understand more information about those particular needs. When that process is complete, employees will be able to see a breakdown of everything they have answered. Here they can make changes if they would like. They can even add a service that's not listed here by clicking the blue Add Service button. Employee responses are then factored into an advanced algorithm that includes millions of other enrollments through the bswift program. Based on this, Emma will suggest a plan best suited to the employee's needs. At this point, employees can ask for more help or return to the introduction screen by clicking here. Since they have answered Emma's enrollment questions, the basic FAQ section has now changed to Medical Coverage FAQ. This section now contains answers to more specific inquiries about medical coverage. Now let's click the Estimate My Costs button on the lower right. Emma will now guide the employee through a breakdown of their results. After Emma explains the results, she may ask if the employee wants to learn more about an HSA or health savings account. If they click yes, she will bring them into an overview of HSA. This part of the process is customizable based on the employer's offerings. If the employer does not offer an HSA qualified plan to employees, this portion would not appear. If the employer wants to offer an FSA or an HRA option instead, Emma would guide the conversation based on those options, just as we can see here with the HSA. For now, let's select No and move forward. Be swift and ask Emma, know that recommendations can't be one size fits all. Based on the input that the employee provided and their answers to Emma's questions, they can see my recommended plan at the top of the list marked in green. This plan has the lowest premium, lowest out-of-pocket expenses, and lowest total annual cost. But what if an employee is more risk-averse and decides that this may not be the right plan after all? Previously, Emma mentioned that there is a way to compare the original needs estimate with a more conservative overview that accounts for unexpected illness, accidents, or trips to the emergency room. An employee can ask Emma to take that into consideration and compare her original estimate for their best plan with an estimate that also includes some unexpected events. It may lead to the same plan again, or Emma might offer a different plan that better matches the employee's risk tolerance. Now, an employee can learn how the recommended plan works by clicking the top button on the right. This option is available so that employees can educate themselves on their benefits as they're making these important decisions. Now we will navigate back to the medical enrollment section. Here, an employee can see the recommended plan at the top of the list, followed by other plans that are also available. Instead of just choosing that recommended plan and moving forward, they can select View Plan Details to learn more about each available option. Employees can also compare 2 or more different plans by selecting them and then clicking the Compare Plans Now button. This generates a side-by-side comparison of all 3 of the plans that are being offered and how much they cost per pay period out of my paycheck. This comparison also includes other important factors such as deductible amount, maximum out-of-pocket amount, co-pays, co-insurance, and more. This makes the process less stressful for employees by providing them with all the important information they need to make a decision all in one place. Here at the bottom, employees can find the SBC information for each, as well as a link to a provider search. The provider search links are helpful if they want to make sure that their current healthcare providers or providers that I'd like to visit are available within a particular plan. They can find that information by clicking on the links here. Let's select the recommended plan on the left to see the details of the employee's medical coverage. Now that the employee selected that plan, They can see that they've elected themselves for coverage and waived coverage for my spouse and child. Continuing down the list, an employee can go to the HSA election and click View Plan Options. Here I can find all the information related to the HSA plan that my employer offers. Built for unpredictability, the Clarity HSA offers on-demand, interest-free payroll advances to cover unexpected healthcare costs. So employees aren't just covered, they're confident they can keep expenses under control. Employees can also take advantage of multiple national banking partners and dozens of investment options to keep their HSA savings safe and growing. Here again, Emma can walk employees through HSA and help them with any contribution decisions they want to make. If my employer chooses Clarity as its HSA vendor, I would be able to go into this bswift portion all year long and change how much I want to contribute to my HSA. Clarity would then have the ability to automatically send that deduction information over to the payroll company via file feed. This is separate from bswift, but can be seamlessly integrated into the system due to the in-house expertise at Clarity Benefit Solutions. Now we're going to select the HSA option here. If an employee needs help deciding how much to contribute, they can get a calculation and get some assistance from Emma. They can dive into a video where Emma explains it further, or I can click on the Fact tab. Now let's choose the contribution amount. Let's say an employee wants to contribute $100 per pay period. This calculator will tally that up and let them know that they have 20 remaining pay periods in this plan year, which equals to $2,000 annually. Now, if they add an extra zero by accident and then try to click Continue, it's not going to let them move on. This is a safeguard of the system, letting employees know that the contribution amount is greater than the allowable IRS annual maximum amount. To stay within the IRS guidelines, they have to be under this $3,600 figure in the Recommended Contribution tab. So let's change that back to $100 and continue forward. Moving along, employees will now enroll in dental coverage, so again, they can go through the plan options and select or waive benefits. The next section is vision. Instead of going in and looking at the plan options here, employees can click, I don't want this benefit. That will create an audit trail that allows the employer to keep track of all of the coverages that they have been offered, with timestamps for waived elections and enrollment choices. The next item here is basic AD&D, which an employee can see as a $0 cost, so there's no need to enroll or waive it. This is an automatic benefit, but can still be viewed in the plan information so the employee can understand and appreciate this free benefit from their employer. Short-term disability and long-term disability are also automatic benefits that are included here. Next, we have voluntary life. When an employee views this plan, they will find the How much do I need button or a coverage calculator. Here, Emma can walk them through assets versus liabilities to come up with a calculation for how much they should consider enrolling in voluntary life and AD&D. For more information, employees can access the Facts section here and the plan details. So let's go into View Plan Details on the right. Based on the coverage amount an employee is selecting, they can see what the total premium amount will be and whether this amount is pre-tax or post-tax. If an employee brings the coverage amount up to the guaranteed issue amount of $50,000, they can see that changes the total cost that's going to come out of their paycheck. Now, let's say they go above the guaranteed issue amount to $300,000. The calculator shows them that this would equate to $37.50 per pay period. Let's click Continue. When an employee does that, they are going to receive multiple alerts that additional steps are needed. This is because they choose an amount above the guaranteed issue, which requires an evidence of insurability form to be completed and reviewed. Again, here is a second notification about the voluntary life plan that something will need to be done before this coverage amount is approved, ensuring the employee is aware at multiple steps of the process what will need to be provided. At this point, an employee will click the orange Continue button on the right. Now they can review all of their elections and see the total cost. As of now, the total cost is $158.43 per pay period. The pending total will be $189.68. For an explanation of what that means, employees can click the Info button. Cost is clearly displayed for the employee. The total is pending because additional steps need to be completed, reminding the employee again of any necessary information that needs to be provided before completion. Scrolling down, each product that an employee elected gives a cost breakdown. They can see what the total premium amount is, the employer's contribution to this benefit, and what the total cost is pre-tax or post-tax for every benefit. When we get down to voluntary life, an employee can see a third notice that something needs to be done. Depending on the employer's preference, there are a number of different things that could be done to complete this EOI. For example, Clarity could set up a link to the carrier website so that the employee can complete the online EOI right then and there. Once they have thoroughly reviewed all of this information, they can go to the bottom of the screen and click I agree, then the orange Complete Enrollment button on the right, and open enrollment has been simply and seamlessly completed. At this point, an employee's benefit confirmation statement is ready. They can view it, print it, or email it, and it will always be accessible on the employee profile homepage. Now let's navigate back to the homepage. As we can see, the homepage has changed since the enrollment decisions have been made. By clicking the Change My Elections button, employees can go back in and change their elections as many times as they would like during the open enrollment period. bswift will save progress, so no matter what happens, an employee will never have to start from scratch again. Let's say that an employee has completed enrollment. They are satisfied with their selections and do not wish to make any changes. They can see that their homepage now reflects all of the changes that they have made under the My Benefits section. Here, employees have access to all of the plans that they choose to enroll in. They can go into each individual plan, look at the SBC, and find contact information for carriers, vendors, and customer service. Everything an employee needs is easily accessible. In the upper left-hand column, we can see that there is an alert in orange. This again is going to be about that voluntary life EOI that was selected earlier. Anytime that add action is required, bswift will notify employees with these alerts on the employee homepage. By clicking on an alert, they will be able to upload the necessary documents and proceed with the required actions. When an employee completes their enrollment, that completion event will be immediately viewable by the HR admin team for the employer or insurance broker. From the employer's perspective on bswift, the pie chart that we saw at the beginning of this demonstration will now show that another individual has completed enrollment, and their name will be listed there. Both sides of the bswift platform are constantly communicating with each other, ensuring there is a consistent and accurate flow of information at all times. They are also communicating with carriers for enrollments, with Payroll for demographic information, and for new hires and terminations. The bswift system creates a user-friendly, simple interface for our customers and their employees to manage all of their health benefits in one place, and is packed with some of the most advanced technology in the benefits market. With sophisticated decision support features and a high level of customization ability, bswift is the best in its class when it comes to enterprise benefits administration systems and data security. By choosing Clarity, our customers are able to free up even more of their valuable time at an incredibly low price so they can focus on what matters most: building business.